The 2025 Formula One season looked like it was following a predictable storyline. McLaren appeared to have everything under control. Their two young stars, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, were dividing up the race victories almost evenly. Week after week, their orange cars crossed the line at the front, and the Constructors' Championship seemed nearly guaranteed. Fans and experts alike believed the only real mystery left was simple: between Piastri and Norris, who would end the year as champion. But just when everyone thought the script was written, the plot began to twist. As September arrived, whispers in the paddock grew louder. Journalists, engineers, and even rival teams started asking the same burning question. Could Max Verstappen really claw his way back into the championship fight? The reason for this sudden change in tone was crystal clear. Out of nowhere, Red Bull Racing found new life. First came an eye-catching performance at Monza. Then, at Baku, Verstappen was unstoppable. In the space of 2 weekends, he won back-to-back races. And these weren't flukes. He didn't just scrape by, he dominated, looking more like the three-time world champion fans remembered than the frustrated driver struggling earlier in the year. Suddenly, the championship no longer looked like McLaren's private playground. For much of the season, the Red Bull RB21 had been tricky, even frustrating. It lacked stability in corners, bounced on the curbs, and never gave Verstappen the balance he craved. But starting with the Italian Grand Prix, the car transformed. Engineers lowered the ride height, unlocked the floor's potential, and finally harnessed the ground effect properly. The result? A car that seemed to have rediscovered its winning DNA. Even Andrea Stella, McLaren's team boss, admitted as much. He explained that Verstappen's radio complaints about bottoming out were actually a clue. Red Bull could now run the car lower, right in the aerodynamic sweet spot. That change turned a temperamental machine into a weapon. Some thought Monza was a one-off thanks to its high-speed straights and light downforce, but Baku erased that doubt. Once again, Verstappen controlled the race, sealing his 8th pole position and 4th victory of the season. It was no longer a coincidence, it was a resurgence. McLaren still leads both championships, but if Red Bull truly solved its weaknesses, the story could shift fast. The RB21 now offers Max a car that bites into corners the way he loves. In slow and medium speed turns, especially in Azerbaijan, he looked untouchable. Where rivals slid, the Red Bull stayed glued to the tarmac. On top of that, engineers revealed the car now handles wind far better, removing another of its earlier flaws. McLaren, by contrast, suddenly looks more vulnerable. Both Piastri and Norris have complained that their car becomes nervous under braking, especially on lower downforce setups. Combine that with small but costly errors: Piastri's opening lap crash in Baku, Norris losing time in slow pit stops, and the momentum begins to tilt. Red Bull executes cleanly while McLaren stumbles. Each time McLaren drops points, Verstappen is there to collect them. The numbers don't lie. After Baku, Max sat 69 points behind Piastri, with Norris just slightly ahead. That sounds like a mountain to climb, but break it down. Verstappen only needs to outscore Piastri by around 10 points per weekend. With Red Bull's pace improving, that no longer sounds unrealistic. A couple of bad races for McLaren, and suddenly the gap could be cut in half. If the trend continues, Verstappen could enter the title fight properly before the season finale, and this creates a strategic dilemma for McLaren. Up until now, they've celebrated the idea of fairness, letting both drivers race freely. Piastri and Norris have shared podiums without team orders, but if Red Bull is truly back, that freedom could cost them dearly. Behind the scenes, the paddock is buzzing. Will McLaren be forced to pick a side? Red Bull has no such hesitation. Their focus is all on Verstappen. If McLaren splits points between two drivers, they might hand the door wide open to Max. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix also reminded everyone that even dominant teams aren't immune to failure. McLaren's result there was their weakest since the Las Vegas GP of 2023. Back then, expectations were low and 2 points for Piastri didn't sting. But in 2025, with McLaren seen as the heirs to Mercedes-style dominance, the pressure is immense. In public, Andrea Stella plays the role of calm leader. He told reporters that mistakes happen, even to legends like Michael Schumacher, and called Piastri the most reliable driver in the field. He repeated that line to Italian media, while noticeably praising Norris less. Piastri, for his part, admitted responsibility for his crash, but cited low grip and gusty winds. Norris pointed to poor strategy and bad pit timing for his struggles. Both drivers defended themselves, but with the title fight tightening, excuses will soon wear thin. Meanwhile, Verstappen is keeping his cool. After his Baku win, he downplayed talk of a miracle comeback. He reminded everyone that he's still 69 points down with 7 races to go, and he noted Singapore has historically been a difficult circuit for him. But his modesty can't hide the fact: momentum is shifting. Officially, McLaren will keep insisting both drivers are equal, but in private the leadership may be forced into a difficult choice: either continue playing fair and risk losing to Verstappen, or put all their chips on one driver. That decision could define the entire championship. What once looked like a simple duel between Norris and Piastri has now evolved into a three-way thriller. The stage is set for drama. Will McLaren gamble on harmony, or will they turn ruthless to protect their crown? One thing is certain: Formula One has proven once again that no lead is safe, and no script is permanent, and no championship is ever truly secure. Just when McLaren thought they had everything wrapped up, Max Verstappen reminded the world why he's never out of the fight. The season, once closed, is now wide open.